Hello, I'm Leander Kahney. I'm the editor and publisher of cultofmac.com, and this is another edition of Kahney's Corner. Of all the announcements at this week's WWDC, the thing I was most excited about wasn't the new watchOS or iPad multitasking. It's Beats One, the new radio station from the Apple Music service, which is going to be launching at the end of June. So the reason I'm excited about Beats One is because as an expat English person living in California, I listen to Radio 1 in London all the time. I like to keep in touch with Britain's great musical culture. And the way I do that is by listening to the radio from London, streaming over the internet. The ridiculous thing is that BBC Radio 1 was probably one of the, if not the only great thing about growing up in the UK in the 70s. And in fact it was like a ferment for, the great British musical culture. All the way, it not only fed it, I think it probably helped create it. And the great thing about the BBC is that it's taxpayer funded. It's paid for with British taxpayer money, so that it's not beholden to commercial interest. They're not there to please advertisers or other paymasters. There are a lot of compromises and there's a lot of things wrong with it, but one of the great things about the BBC is that it does serve its viewers and its listeners. And I can attest that BBC Radio has always been great. And the reason I'm excited about Beats One is that it sounds kind of like Radio 1, except instead of the British taxpayer, you've got Apple, and hopefully with their billions of dollars in their deep pockets, they're going to fund a listener-centric, a listener-friendly radio station, a global radio station, staffed with some great talent. Zane's Lowe is a great start. And they're not going to be beholden to the commercial interests that I think have ruined a lot of terrestrial radio and online streaming services. It won't be run by robots, it'll be run by real DJs who are passionate about music, and it won't be in service of a radio playlist. It'll be for listeners, hopefully. It's ironic in this age of streaming audio, the way you can get almost any song at any time, that the best way to hear music, the best way to discover new music is the old-fashioned way with a radio DJ. And I love a good radio DJ, so I have very, very high hopes for this. This has been another edition of Kahney's Corner, brought to you by cultofmac.com, and please check us out on the web at cultofmac.com, and also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.